So today we're going to get started on our backs. So any comfortable recline position. I'm going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet together, knees will fall out wide. If you want a little extra support, feel free to bring blocks under the knees. Maybe you use some blankets. I personally enjoy having my arms above my head for a little more heart opening. But wherever you're at, just relax and melt in. We'll be here for a couple minutes. This is your time to ground and prepare for the practice. Maybe here you work on what you want your intention to be. Maybe you just want to clear the mind and relax the body as much as possible. Whatever's calling to you at this moment, do that. Maybe you start to work on deepening the breath. Sometimes I like to do a 3-part breath, working into the belly, the ribs, and then the chest. And then you can exhale out, chest, ribs, belly. Whatever other breath work calls to you, take it now. If you want to feel a little more connection, maybe you bring one hand to your heart, the other to your belly. And just feel that breath move in and out. If you haven't already, go ahead and come back to a normal breath. And then move into your Ujjayi breath here. So go ahead and close the mouth. Create that constriction down the back of the throat. Like you're trying to fog up a mirror, but the mouth will be closed. If you're newer to the practice, it's easier to focus on the exhales. The inhales will come later. I like to have a long grounding portion at the beginning of class, just because it prepares me mentally and physically for the practice ahead. At the beginning of my classes, sometimes I like to offer intentions. My favorite one that I always go to, especially if something specific isn't calling to me, is a simple phrase, and it's to feel good. So despite your reason for practicing yoga, whether it's mental, physical, spiritual, it really all comes down to wanting to feel good. If the knees are out wide, go ahead and use the hands. Draw the knees back up towards center. To release, go ahead and rock those knees side to side. Take it nice and easy here. Maybe you wiggle fingertips and toes, rotate wrists and ankles. When you're ready, lengthen those legs out long, stretch the arms up overhead. Sigh or yawn because it feels so good. Then when you're ready, hug the right knee in towards your chest. Maybe rotate that ankle a little bit, get all the kinks and pops out. And then we're going to take half happy baby. So with that right arm, reach for the inside of that right leg. You can grab sole of the foot, maybe the shin. If you need to grab onto the back of the thigh, whatever's most accessible to you. And then gently draw that knee down. Left hand can come to left hip. If you need to bend the left knee, do it now. And then go ahead and hug the right knee back in towards the chest. From here, we're going to come into a twist. So right arm comes out to the right side. Left hand draws the knee over to the left. Maybe you use a block for support, but make sure that right shoulder stays planted down. If it's not planted, if it's popping off the mat, go ahead and come out of the twist a little bit. We're just warming up here, so take it nice and easy. Inhale, knee comes back in towards the chest. And then go ahead and wrap those hands around the belly of that right thigh. Keep the knee bent. And then inhale, straighten the leg. And rebend. Do that a couple times. Inhale, straighten. And bend. And then go ahead and keep that leg straight and rotate the ankle a couple times. Keeping that belly of the thigh hugged in. When you're ready, hug the right knee back in towards the chest. Lengthen it out long. Shake it out. Maybe you notice that right leg's a little bit longer than the left now. We'll do the other side. So left knee in towards the chest. Rotate the ankle both directions. When you're ready, half happy baby on the left side, reaching through the inside of that right or left leg. And then gently drawing the knee down. Right hand grounds that right hip. And settle in. Hug the left knee back in towards the chest. And we're going to come into the twist here. So left arm out to the left side. Right hand draws the knee over to the right. Left shoulder stays planted this time. Maybe that left arm stays out long, or if you want to cactus the arm by bending the elbow, whatever's most comfortable. Inhale, come back to center. Bring that left knee in towards the chest. And then wrap the hands around the belly of the left thigh. Keep that belly hugged in. Inhale, straighten the left leg. And exhale, rebend it. Do this a couple more times. And then inhale, leg straightens and rotate the ankle. Point and flex the toes. Hug the knee back in towards the chest when you're done and lengthen the left leg out long. Shake it out. Both knees come in towards the chest. Gently rock side to side. Give that low back a little massage. And then lengthen both legs up towards the ceiling this time. From here, we're going to start to make little circles with our feet on the ceiling, just for a little gentle core activation and a little low back massage again. The more core activation you want, the bigger the circles you make. When you're ready, knees come in towards the chest, grab backs of the thighs, rock forward and back till you come up to a seat. Any comfortable seat position is perfect. So spine up nice and tall, ground down into the sit bones. On your inhale, arms reach up. And then nice big stretch. Bend the elbows. Lift the chest, draw the arms down your sides. Again, inhale, reach up. Nice big stretch, bending those elbows. And then drawing them down. Roll the shoulders forward and up. Exhale, back and down. And then reverse it. Go back and up and forward and down. Chin comes to chest, and then roll the right ear over the right shoulder. Exhale, down, chin to chest, and then left ear over left shoulder. And exhale, chin back down, and then bring that chin parallel to the ground again. Go ahead and cross that right arm across the body. Hug it in with the left. Look over that right shoulder and then bring the chin down to the shoulder. We're just stretching out a different part of the neck here. And then on the other side, left arm across the body. Hug it in with the right. Look over that left shoulder and then bring the chin down to the left shoulder. Release the arms, roll the shoulders out a couple more times. We're just warming up here. So from here, you can stay in easy seated pose. Maybe you take square pose, walking the shins parallel to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up, and then exhale, fold forward. Hover here for a moment, and then let the hands drop down to the ground. You can either stay still if it feels good. Maybe you sway side to side. Opening up the hip of the leg that's in front, and then inhale, reach forward, arms come back up, and on your exhale, twist to the right. Here in this twist, right hand comes behind you, left hand to the outside of that right leg. On your inhales, you reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, and then on the exhales, maybe you twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back to center, arms reach, and exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead and lengthen the legs out long in front of you. Shake them out if you need to. Pull the flesh back from the sit bones to tilt those hips forward. Tadasana, hands down by your side, spine up nice and tall. Inhale, arms reach up. Hug that belly button in, and exhale, forward fold. Try and keep that spine nice and long here. Pulling the chest towards the feet on the inhales, and on the exhales, folding forward. Maybe just a little bit more. Feet are flexed. Reach out through the fingertips. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Go ahead and recross the legs, but bring the opposite leg in front that you did last time. We're going to take either easy seated or square pose. Inhale, arms reach up, and exhale, fold forward. Again, you can stay still or sway side to side. I personally like to have a little movement. And then reach out through the fingertips. Inhale, come up a little bit, hover the fingers. Inhale, arms come back up, and exhale, twist to the left. Left hand comes behind you, right hand to the outside of that right leg. Inhales, lengthen, and exhales, go deeper. Inhale, back to center, arms reach, and exhale, hands to heart center. This time we're going to come into a wide-legged straddle. So go ahead and bring those legs out nice and wide. Flex the feet. Pull the flesh back from the sit bones. Inhale, spine lengthens. And exhale, fold forward. Again, here we're going to work on keeping that spine nice and straight. If that means you can't fold as deeply, that's totally fine. You're still feeling the same sensation. Stay still or sway side to side. And then walk the hands over to the right. Right hand comes to the inside of that right leg, palm faces up. And then left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Keep that chest nice and open. And then hinging over to the right. Opening up those left ribs. And then bring that left hand back down. We're going to walk our way over to the left. Left hand to the inside of that left leg, palm up. Right arm reaches up. And then hinging over to the left. Again, focusing on keeping the chest open, not facing it down towards the ground. Right hand comes back down to the ground. Maybe you notice you can fold in a little bit deeper in your wide leg forward fold. And then walking the hands back in. Use the hands, draw the knees in. Soles of the feet to the mat. And windshield wiper knees side to side. Release. This time, soles of the feet come to the mat. Hands come behind you. Fingertips point in towards you. Inhale, lift the chest. Stay here, or if you want reverse tabletop, go ahead and press through the feet and the hands. Lift the hips as high as you can. And then again, if you want the movement, gently sway forward and back, really opening up the shoulders here. On your next exhale, lower the hips back down. And then we're going to make our way into a tabletop position, also known as coming onto all fours. If you need support for the knees, bring those under the knees now, and then shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Take a full deep breath in. And on your exhale, cat pose, round the back, tuck the chin, tailbone tilts down. And then reverse it to cow, drop the belly, lift the chest. Maybe that gaze comes up. And then exhale back to cat. A couple rounds on your own here. Go between the two movements. Add in extra movements if they feel good. Sometimes I like to tuck my toes to stretch out the feet a little bit more. Maybe you want to sway through the hips. Bend the elbows, your choice. Just remember, feel good. Maybe roll those shoulders forward and back. And go both directions. Wake up the wrists a little bit, come back to a neutral spine, and just make little circles over the wrists here. And then go ahead and bring the knees together. Tuck the toes and start to walk the hands back. Maybe hands stay down on the mat. Maybe they come to your thighs. If you want the full challenge, hands come to heart center. This can be a very intense posture, so take your time. If you want to move into a yogi toe balance, hands come back down. Lift the knees up off the mat. And then bring maybe one hand to heart center, maybe both. Or maybe hands reach up towards the ceiling. Knees are going to point forward, not up towards the ceiling. On your next exhale, go ahead and bring those hands back down. Knees drop back down. Shake out those toes however you need to. Now move your feet back to the back edge of your mat. We're going to come into puppy pose. I want your hips to stay directly over the knees. Walk the arms out long in front of you and work on lowering the chest down towards the ground. It may not touch, and that's fine. Maybe it comes to a block. Maybe your forehead comes all the way down to the mat. If you want a little more opening, you can bring your chin to the mat, or you can tent the fingertips. Opening up the upper back here. And then walking those hands back in. Take a cat pose round the back. All right, let's get into a little more core activation here. So walk the hands forward. We're going to come into a modified plank. So we want those shoulders to stay over the wrists, but we want the hips to shift forward. So there's a long line of energy from the crown of the head to the knees. And then nice and slow, you're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Keep those elbows hugged in. Feet are untucked. Let's do a couple back bends. On your inhale, baby cobra, lift the chest. Maybe the hands hover. And exhale, lower back down. Really ground down into the tops of those feet. Same thing. Inhale, lift the chest. Maybe the hands hover. And exhale, lower back down. This time, use the hands, come up a little bit higher. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lower. And your fullest expression this time. Inhale up. Hold and breathe. Draw those shoulders down the back. Maybe you have a bend into the elbows, maybe not, your choice. Take a nice full breath in, and then on your exhale, shift the hips back, come into a child's pose. So big toes to touch, knees come out wide, arms can be out long in front of you. Deep breath in, and then on your exhale, walk the hands over to the right. Maybe left hand stacks on top of right. I personally like to interlace my fingers, but make sure that left hip stays planted down towards that left heel to really open up the side body. Inhale, come back through center, and exhale over to the left. Again, maybe hands stack. Right hip stays down towards that right heel, opening up those right ribs. Inhale, come back to center, and then make your way into a tabletop position. Readjust if you need to. And then downward facing dog when you're ready. So maybe you have to walk those hands forward a little bit. So it's the first down dog of this practice. So if you need to take movement here, maybe you bend one knee and then the other. You can release the neck by shaking it yes and no. If you want those wrists woken up a little bit more, you can rock forward into plank and then come back into down dog a couple times. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower them back down. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, lower. And then this time, inhale, lift the heels, look forward, really pull that belly button in. I want you to tippy toe as far to the top as you can. When you get there, fold. And then I just want you to hang here. So tip some weight into the balls of the feet. Maybe you ragdoll, grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. And then exhale, lower back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull those hearts forward. Draw the shoulders down the back. Palms press into something, whether it's the shins, maybe thighs. Then inhale, reach up. Exhale, open up the chest. Inhale, reach. And hands come to heart center. Close your eyes here. Set your intention. Take a few moments. I offered one, but you can have it be whatever you want it to be. We create a lot of heat in this practice, a lot of energy. So where do you want that energy to go? Blink open through the eyes. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Palms press down into the mat. Step it back, plank position. Hold and breathe. So this time, knees can be down like we did before, or maybe knees are lifted for full plank position. Rock forward over the wrists, lower halfway down for chaturanga. Maybe you go all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, and exhale back downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, look forward, come up onto the toes, step, hop, or float to the front. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, open up the chest. Inhale, reach, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. On your exhale, plant the palms, step back into plank position. Go through your vinyasa here. You can rock forward over the wrists, lower half or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, back downward facing dog. Few breaths here. Feel free to take extra movement if you need it. Inhale, come up onto the toes, look forward, release the breath out, step, hop, or float to the front. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, and open up the chest. Inhale, reach up, and hands come to heart center. All right, let's work into some balancing here. So ground down into that right foot. We're going to do tree pose. So left foot can be a kickstand. Maybe the sole of the foot presses into the shin. Maybe it comes up into the thigh. Find your focal point, your drishti. Make sure it doesn't move. Hands start at heart center. When you're ready, arms reach up. And then hands come back to heart center. Stay with me here. Bring the left knee in towards the chest. And then cross the foot over the right. So both feet will be down toward on the mat. And then fold over here. Hands can come all the way down to the mat. If that feels good, maybe you use a block. And then when you're ready to come back up, hands come to hips. Inhale, rise. And then uncross the legs. We'll take the other side. So ground down into the left foot. Right knee hugs in towards your chest. And then when you're ready, maybe right foot to a kickstand, maybe shin, maybe thigh. Hands start at heart center. When you're ready, arms reach up, growing those branches for your tree pose. Gaze is steady. And then bringing hands back to heart center. Knee comes in towards the chest, and then cross that right foot over the left. Deep breath in, and exhale, fold forward. Hands down to the mat, maybe blocks. And breathe here. When you're ready to come back up, hands to hips, inhale, rise. Uncross the legs, shake it out. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. On your exhale, big step back, flowing through your vinyasa. Maybe you skip the vinyasa altogether. Your choice. Inhale, right leg lifts. Bend the knee, open up the hip. You can stay still, or maybe you take movement, rotating that hip in the hip socket. You can straighten out the leg, but keep the hips open. And then straighten out the legs, square the hips. On your exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Knee is over ankle. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Hands can stay down. Maybe they come to the right thigh. Maybe arms reach all the way up. And then stay here or open up the chest. Inhale, arms reach. And on your exhale, hands come back down to the mat. Let's work into those hamstrings a little bit. So start to shift those hips back. Straightening the front leg. Flex those right toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold over. Inhale, rebend the knee. Bring both hands to the inside of that right leg. Walk the right foot out to the right side. We're going to come into lizard pose. So maybe you stay up on the hands. Maybe you bring forearms to a block. If you're really open and want to bring both forearms down to the mat, feel free. You can stay still or make little circles with the hip here. And then when you're ready, making your way back up, coming into a twist. So left hand plants down, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. If you want the quad stretch, go ahead and bend the back knee, reach back for that foot with the top arm. Hug it in, and then gently release the foot. Hands come back over, and then foot comes back to center. Both hands frame the foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee up, catch your balance, and then rise up, crescent lunge. So nice deep bend into that front leg. Back heel is lifted. On your inhale, straighten the front leg, and exhale, rebend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, open up the chest here. And then on your exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step that right foot back. Take a vinyasa or just meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Again, take movement or be still. And then straighten out the legs, square the hips. On your exhale, step the left foot through. Knee over ankle, drop the back knee and tuck the toes. Use support for the knee if you need it. And then whatever arm variation feels good, maybe hands to thighs or arms reach up. Sink into that front leg and exhale, open up the chest. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, hands come down to the mat. Shifting back to half split, straighten that left leg. Flex the left foot. Inhale, straighten the spine. And exhale, fold over. Feel free to bring blocks under the hands if you need to bring the ground up to you. And then rebend that front knee. Bring both hands to the inside of that left leg. Heel toe the foot out to the left. Toes point out. Coming into lizard, staying up on the hands or making your way down, your choice. You can stay still or make little circles with the left hip here. And then making your way back up onto your hands, coming into a twist, right hand plants down, left arm reaches up. Quad stretch, you bend that back knee, reach for it with the top hand. Chest stays nice and open. And then release the foot back down. Both hands down to the mat, heel toe the foot back to center. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee up. Catch your balance, and then when you're ready, crescent lunge. Spine up nice and tall. Back leg is as straight as you can get it. Reach that back heel up towards the ceiling. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And bend. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Hold the bend here. Inhale, open up the chest. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step that left foot back. Take your vinyasa. Down dog for a couple breaths. Fingers spread nice and wide here. Press those hips back. Nice long spine. Inhale, look forward, come up onto the toes, release the breath, step, hop, or float to the front. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, arms reach up, coming into chair pose. So bend the knees, sink the hips down. Really hug those ribs in towards each other. Don't let them flare out. And then this time we want the weight to shift back into the heels. If it's too much for the shoulders to have the arms extended, maybe hands come to heart center. Can you sink in a little bit deeper? Take a full breath in. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. On your exhale, take your vinyasa. Take a moment here, child's pose. Sink the hips back, smooth out the breath. Notice if the body's a little more warmed up now. And then we're going to thread the needle from our child's pose. So reach that right arm underneath the left. Head can stay down, resting. Left arm is long out in front of you. And then coming back to center and threading the needle on the other side. Left arm underneath the right. Inhale, come back to center. Come into a tabletop position. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Keep that back knee lifted this time. Catch your balance and then arms reach up, crescent lunge. Sink into the front leg. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten the front leg. This time, maybe you step the back foot in, sole the foot to the mat. We're going to take pyramid pose. So front leg is straight. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold over that front leg. If hands don't come all the way down to the mat, maybe you use blocks to bring the ground up to you. And then start to walk the hands forward. We're going to come into a modified warrior 3. So hands stay down to start. And then right leg is nice and strong and straight here. Maybe you bring one hand to heart center. Maybe you bring both hands. Left leg is as parallel to the ground as you can get it. And then ground down into that right foot. Stay balanced. Inhale, rise up to standing. Bring the left knee in towards the chest. And then exhale, extend the leg out long in front of you. Point the toes. Spine up nice and tall. No leaning back. Inhale, rebend the front knee. And exhale, set it down. Shake it out. Bring the feet together on your inhale, chair pose. Utkatasana. Sink the hips. Arms reach forward and up. Sink in a little bit deeper. Shift the weight back into the heels. Take a nice full deep breath in. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Keep the right foot planted. Take a big step back with the left foot. Back heel drops 90 degrees. Inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Open that front thigh to the right side edge of the mat. And then front heel's in line with the middle of that back foot. Both arms are active. Gaze over the front middle finger. And then flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Reach that right arm up to the ceiling. Left arm can come down that back leg or wrap around the back. Full breath in, and then on your exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step the foot back. Take your vinyasa. Inhale, left leg lifts. On your exhale, step it in between the hands. Back knee stays lifted. Rise up, crescent lunge. And then on your inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Step that back foot in a little bit. Sole of the foot down to the mat. Front knee is straight. Pyramid pose. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold over the front leg. Maybe on the inhales, you work on pulling that chest towards the foot. And on your exhales, you can fold in a little bit deeper. Now start to look forward. Walk the hands forward. Modified warrior 3. Lift that back leg up as parallel to the ground as you can get it. Maybe one or both hands come to heart center. Maybe they stay down to the ground or to blocks. And then on your next inhale, rise up to standing. Bring the right knee in towards the chest and point the toes. Extend the leg out long in front of you. Inhale, rebend the knee. And exhale, set the foot down. Shake it out. Feet come together or maybe hips distance apart. It's your choice. On your inhale, chair pose, sink the hips. Knit those ribs in towards each other. Relax the face. You don't need your facial muscles for chair pose. Take a deep breath in and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And then this time, big step back with the right foot. Drop that right heel 90 degrees. Rise up, warrior 2. So both feet are active here. Relax the shoulders down the back. And then gazes over the front middle finger. Flip the front palm. Reverse your warrior. Left arm reaches up. Right hand down to the right leg, or maybe it wraps around the back, but keep a bend into the front knee here. On your next exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step that left foot back. Take your vinyasa. Start to walk your hands back towards your feet. On your inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. And open up the chest. Inhale, reach. And hands come to heart center. Feet come out, hips distance apart. Find your focal point here. Loosen things up a little bit. Inhale, arms reach up. And then when you're ready, rise up onto those tippy toes. So lift the heels up towards the ceiling. Really reach through the arches of the feet. Pull that belly button up and in to help with your stability. And then go ahead, nice and slow, tippy toe your way to the top of the mat. And then stay with those heels lifted. Chair pose. Start to bend the knees here. If you need to lower the heels, you can, but just an extra challenge. Inhale, straighten both legs. Keep the heels lifted. Hands come to heart center. And then fold forward with those heels lifted. When you fold it all the way, drop the heels down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up to standing. And exhale, open up the chest. Inhale, reach up. And hands come back, heart center. Feet come together. Chair pose, sink the hips, arms reach up. Hold and breathe. Now weight shifts into the right foot this time. Maybe that left heel hovers, maybe the whole foot. Nice and slow, take a big step back with the left foot coming into crescent lunge. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten here, and then pyramid pose. Walk that back foot in a little bit. And then this time, maybe you grab opposite elbows behind the back. Maybe you take reverse prayer hands. And then exhale, fold over that leg. If neither of those variations works for you and you want to keep hands at heart center, that's fine. And then try and keep this arm variation. Look forward, start to lean the weight forward. Come into warrior 3. Chest and back leg as parallel to the ground as you can get them. And then keep leaning forward. Take a deep bend into that front knee. Slow step back. Drop the heel. Warrior 2. Flip the front palm. Reverse your warrior. And then exhale, come back up, warrior 2. Straighten the front leg and triangle pose, reaching forward and then down. So left arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Nice slight bend into that front knee. Rebend the front knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And on your exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step the back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Sink those hips again. Chair pose. All kinds of chair pose today. And this time, shift the weight over into the left foot. Maybe the right heel hovers. Maybe the whole foot hovers. And then nice and slow, big step back with that right leg. Crescent lunge. Arms reach up. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Step that back foot in. Pyramid pose, taking your arm variation. Inhale, lengthen the spine first. And then on your exhale, fold over that front leg. Start to look forward, lean the weight forward, coming into warrior 3. Lift that back leg as parallel to the ground as you can get it. And then deep bend into that standing leg, big step back, drop the back heel 90 degrees, open it up, warrior 2. Arms reach forward and back, flip the front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come back up, warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, triangle pose, reaching forward and down. Right arm reaches up, keeping a little bend into that left knee, protecting the knee joint. Maybe left hand comes down to a block or the ground, or maybe it stays at the shin. Rebend the front knee, inhale, reverse your warrior. On your exhale, cartwheel the hands down, pivot on the back toes, step the back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, arms reach up. And exhale, open up the chest. Inhale, arms reach up. And hands connect heart center. Taking a moment here. Working into some balancing. Ground down into the right foot. Left knee comes in towards the chest. Hand to big toe pose. Wrap the peace fingers around the left big toe. Working on straightening the leg. If it doesn't straighten all the way, that's okay. You can stay here or open the leg out to the left. Extra challenge, bring that gaze over to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Rebend the knee. And set it down nice and controlled. Shake it out if you need to. And then we'll do the other side. Ground down into the left foot, right knee in towards the chest. Peace fingers wrap around the big toe. Work on straightening the leg. Left hand to left hip. Stay here or open the leg out to the right. Extra challenge. Maybe the gaze comes over to the left. Slowly make your way back to center and then rebend the knee, set the foot back down. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. On your exhale, take your vinyasa. If you want to throw in a crow pose with a jump back, feel free. Go ahead and have some fun here. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And then take a child's pose. Smooth out the breath. Then when you're ready, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. On your exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Rise up, crescent lunge, arms reach forward and up. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg, pyramid pose, taking your arm variation. Inhales, lengthens the spine, and exhale, fold over. Look forward, start to lean the weight forward, coming into warrior 3, keeping the arm variation if you can. And then stay balanced on that standing leg. Inhale, rise up to standing, left knee in towards the chest, and then lengthen the leg out long in front of you. Inhale, rebend the knee, coming back into warrior 3, hinge at the hips. Deep bend into that standing leg, big step back, release the arms, crescent lunge, and then on your exhale, warrior 2, open it up. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come back up, warrior 2, straighten the front leg, triangle pose, reaching forward and down. Rebend the front knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And on your exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Standing splits. Lift that leg up towards the ceiling. Extra challenge. Maybe you wrap one hand around the ankle. Maybe both do. And then deep breath in. On your exhale, knee to nose, hug it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, in. Inhale. And then on your exhale, step the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, sink the hips, arms reach forward and up. 5 full breaths here. If you want to practice crow pose again, 5 full breaths in crow pose. Then take your vinyasa. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot through. Rise up, crescent lunge. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg, pyramid pose. Taking your arm variation, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold over. Inhale to halfway lift. Start to lean the weight forward, coming into warrior 3. Modify if you need to. And then stay balanced on that standing leg. Inhale, rising up to standing, knee in towards the chest, and exhale, extend the leg out long. Inhale, rebend the knee, and then warrior 3. Hinge at the hips. Deep bend into the standing leg, big step back, crescent lunge, arms reach up. And exhale, warrior 2, open. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, back up, warrior 2, straightening the front leg, triangle pose, reach forward and down, right arm reaches up. Rebend the front knee, inhale, reverse your warrior. And then on your exhale, cartwheel the hands down, walk the hands forward, standing splits. Reach that right leg up towards the ceiling, point those right toes. Maybe you wrap one or both hands around that ankle. Test yourself, you never know. And then on your next exhale, hug the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen back up, standing splits. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, in. Inhale, lengthen. On your exhale, step the foot to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift and fold forward. Chair pose, sink the hips, arms reach up. Stay here in chair pose. Maybe you challenge yourself by sinking in as deeply as you can, or if crow pose is still calling to you, 5 full breaths. When you're done with your 5, take your vinyasa. When you're done with your vinyasa, take a rest here. Coming back up, tabletop position. So we're going to do a hold here for our peak pose. So we're going to come into a plank position and we're going to hold it for 1 minute. You can have knees down, maybe knees are lifted. Pull that belly button up and in. If you start with knees lifted, you modify before you quit. So before you give up, the knees drop. Hold and breathe. Use that Ujjayi breath here. And then feel free to hold it longer or lower all the way down and then rest into a child's pose. So now is your time to rest. You can hang out here if you have more energy and want to practice more arm balance or an inversion. You can take that now. But know that if you are tired and your body needs rest, please give it the rest that it needs. That's what's going to help you feel good. Five more full breaths here. Make them long and deep. Feel free to rest as long as you like. Now we're going to move into some hip openings, so make your way into downward facing dog. And we're going to take pigeon pose to open up those hips a little bit more. So inhale, the right leg lifts. This time bend the knee and bring the knee behind that right wrist. So that right foot's going to be in front of the left hip. Keep the right foot flexed. Left leg is long behind you, not pointing out to the side. And then make sure those hips are square. Maybe you bring a block underneath the right hip for support. Make sure you're balanced. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then on your exhale, start to fold over here. Maybe you bring your chest or forehead to a block. Maybe you're able to come all the way down to the mat. Just meet yourself wherever you're at. Remember those ujjayi breaths still. If you notice as you're laying here that you've found a little more space, go ahead and move into it. Three more full breaths here. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper. And then start to make your way back up onto your hands. Tuck those left toes. Make your way back into down dog or stretch it out however you need to. Then when you're ready, we'll do the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend the left knee, bring it behind that left wrist. Right leg is long behind you, nice and straight. Make sure those hips are squared, using any props that you need. The deeper you want to go, the more that front shin, that left shin, comes parallel to the front of the mat. Inhale lengthens the spine, and then on your exhale, start to fold over. Trying to rest that head down as much as you can so that way you can really settle into this posture. Sometimes the stillness, the yin poses, are more challenging than the yang, the movements that causes the heat. At any time, if you find more space, move into it. Three more full breaths. Even in these ending postures, remember the Ujjayi breath. And then nice and slow, make your way back up onto your hands. Tuck the right toes. Downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Maybe you'd rather stretch it out in a tabletop position. That's fine. Once you're done with your stretches, go ahead and drop the knees. Swing the legs around. We're going to come to a seat. If you want to jump through to a seat, feel free. But then coming into a reclined position. Go ahead and bend the knees, soles of the feet to the mat. Walk the heels in towards the glutes, feet or hips distance, and keep the feet parallel to each other. We're going to come into some back bends. So on your inhale, press through the feet, lift the hips. Nice and high here. You can do robot the arms by bending the elbows, pointing all 10 fingers up towards the ceiling. Really lift that chest towards the chin. Press the backs of the arms down into the mat. And then inhale, lift the heels. And exhale, lower the hips back down. If you need to release a little bit, windshield wiper knees side to side. And then we're going to take another round here. So walk the heels in, press through the feet, lift the hips. Bridge pose. You could take the same robot arms, or maybe you interlace the fingers underneath the body, coming up onto the tops of the shoulders. Really lift those hips up. And then when you're ready, lift the heels, release the clasp, and slowly lower the hips down. Release by rocking knees side to side if you need to. We are going to take one more round, starting in bridge pose. Press through the feet, lift the hips. If you're open enough and want to take wheel, hands come back by the ears. Fingers will point in towards the shoulders. Press through the hands, lift all the way up. If you need to come up onto the top of the head first and then press up from there, you can. Work on straightening the legs, pulling the chest towards the back of the room. And then when you're ready, lift the heels and slowly go all the way down. Windshield wiper knees side to side first. And then when you're ready, hug the knees in towards the chest, really rounding here, rocking side to side. Now coming into inversion, legs lengthen up towards the ceiling for candlestick. If you're like me, I like bringing a block underneath my hips here in candlestick, so feel free to do that. You can also use a blanket or a pillow. And then just enjoy the blood going in the opposite direction here for a little bit. Arms wherever's comfortable. They can be down by your sides, up overhead. And just rest. And then hug those knees back in. If you had a block or something underneath your hips, go ahead and remove it off to the side. And then go ahead and walk your feet out to mat's width apart. Keep the feet this distance and let the knees fall over to the right. You can stay right here if this is enough, or you pick up that right foot, place it on top of that left thigh to go a little bit deeper. In this pose, I really like bringing my arms up overhead and grabbing opposite elbows. Just offers a little more opening and stretch. And then right foot comes back down. Inhale, knees back up to center, but feet stay mat's width apart. Let the knees fall over to the left. Stay here, or left foot comes on top of that right thigh. Again, taking whatever arm variation feels good. Left foot comes back down, knees come back up towards center. Heel toe the feet back in. And then hug the knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side. And then we'll take happy baby. So reach to the inside of the legs, grabbing soles of the feet or anywhere along the way. Rock side to side. And then if you want true happy baby, which I hope you do, you massage those lips together. Relax those facial muscles. Have a bit of fun. Maybe you straighten one leg and then the other as you're rocking back and forth. And then come back to center. Hug the knees in towards the chest. And then bring the forehead up to the knees. Curl into a tight little ball. Get as small as you possibly can. Take a nice full deep breath in. And then on your exhale, Shavasana, arms and legs out long. Get comfy. If you want to bring something underneath the knees, you can, or cover up with a blanket. And we're going to do one more full breath together. So release all the breath out. Take a nice full deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Take in an extra sip of air. And then exhale, sigh it out. Best part of the practice. Rest and enjoy and feel good. Slowly start to deepen the breath. Wiggle fingertips and toes. Rotate wrists and ankles. Rock the head side to side. Lengthen the legs out long. Stretch the arms up overhead. Sigh or yawn because it feels so good. Nice big stretch. Then hug those knees in one last time, rocking side to side, and then falling onto your favorite side in the fetal position. Take a moment here. Come back to your intention. You're amazing. You just did a 75-minute practice. When you're ready, press yourself up to a seat. Eyes can be closed or heavy. Spine up nice and tall. On your inhale, arms reach up. And hands connect to heart center. One last breath together. Nice full deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you, my friend. Namaste.